Welcome back to the Green Beans Go channel. It's your host, me, and I was told this weekend that my background is lifeless. And I know that when we normally do these sort of videos, I'm right here, but there are times where I do the full screen. And one of my friends said, hey, if you just liven it up back here, you may get more people to watch. If I clicked on your video and I didn't know you, I'd turn it off right away because your background is so boring. So I picked up some things at the store yesterday. And today, we're going to liven this up, and we'll be back tomorrow for a little update. So I just wanted to provide you with an update on that. And now we'll talk about yesterday, our very small slate, 3 games yesterday. Here's the deal, guys. I can lead a horse to water, but I can't pick a guy to hit a home run. That's what it comes down to. So let's look at this because it's kind of funny. These were the outcomes yesterday in terms of home runs. None for Tampa Bay, 2 for New York, none for Atlanta, even though they scored 12 runs, 3 for Cincinnati, none for Texas, 1 for Seattle. So look at where the green is, here and here. Look at the teams that had the most runs, home runs, here and here. Look at the game that had the most runs, 3. Here, where the weather was good. I had left-handed batters. Ben Rice hit 1. Yes, Stanton hit 1 as well. So, I'm there. I don't want to pat myself on the back, but I feel as if I direct to the right spots. I just can't pick the right people. Cal Raleigh was our only win from yesterday. We got some bad news, and it is that there is extremely high barometric pressure across the United States today. And that usually has an impact on the ball's flight or carry. If you'll remember back, if you're an OG of this series, of this journey, we'll talk March and April when we were really struggling to hit home runs. This is what we saw every day. It was high barometric pressure back in those days. So I'm not optimistic because it's giving me flashbacks to when we were really struggling with producing a lot of home runs. And ironically, it's Fair Weather Friday. And we don't have a ton of fair weather across the nation. We have 1, 2, 3, 4-ish, 5-ish games that we can maybe pull from, and pull from them we will. If you do want to sign up for Novig, it is an exchange. It's basically like a sports book, but you're betting against other people directly, not necessarily against the house. They have usually the best lines, and I'm going to probably hit this a lot harder when it comes down to NFL season, and I'm making different types of bets outside of just home runs. You can use my code. You get a little bit of a sign-up bonus, a little $50 bonus, and when we get 25 sign-ups, I will give away $100 on this channel, and it's been a long time coming. I think we have 16. So if you do want to do that, go for it. We got an early game. We got 2 early games, actually, in the Midwest today. First is in Cincinnati, and I'm just convinced that Great American dimensions are fake. This park is bigger than we think it is. Home runs are not flying out of this place. Matt Olson at 250 is my only lean for Atlanta. For Cincinnati, hey, there we go. Elly De La Cruz gets in the win column. Last night, hits his first home runs in over 30 days. And I believe I mentioned him yesterday and said, I'm just not going to bet a guy who hasn't. Also, in the same vein, Gavin Lux, he didn't end up starting, so we kind of dodged a bullet there. Jake Fraley at 800 is my other play. Overall, it's just average. I'm not going to officially play anybody from it. Game in Chicago, not only do we have high barometric pressure, we have a 15-mile-an-hour wind blowing in at Wrigley, which is never good. The prices that you find on that game are probably going to be borderline unreal. You may look at it and you may say, oh, wow, Pete Crow Armstrong's plus 600. I got to take it. When do I ever get him at this number? He's that number for a reason. I'm passing. Game in Washington. Don't like anybody for Washington against Quintana today. I'm likely going to skip it in general, but Andrew Vaughn and William Contreras are my leans there. Game in Philadelphia. Another instance of wind in and high pressure, although the wind is not in as much. It should not affect the ball as much as it does at Wrigley. The park is small. So I do think there are opportunities in this one to still come out with some value, but I think you need guys who hit the ball hard and hit the ball far. This is not a time to go with Bryson Stott or Zach McKinstry. You probably should just parlay those two together and bet it. But I would advise against guys who are not really hard power hitters. So Torkelson, Harper, and Schwarber are my leans there. Game in Toronto, we do have a special Patreon guest pick coming up, so stay tuned for that. But Miguel Garcia, Vinny Pasquantino, George Springer, and Addison Barger, really some solid prices on those guys for a stadium that has lent itself to a decent amount of home runs. So I think you could maybe get away with picking some guys from this one. And again, the prices I think are justifiable. Game in Boston is not good. Not only is wind blowing in, not only is it high barometric pressure, the pitching is good. The factors are bad. A big park. Alex Bregman at 6-1 is the only play that I have. There's not enough info for Houston right now. It looks like Cooper Criswell is going to pitch for Boston, but we don't know how many innings. So I'm staying off of anything there. Plus, I don't love Houston on the road anyway. Game in Cleveland is a pass, although I am going to provide you 3 names. It doesn't look good in terms of weather and overall. I do think the Twins have an advantage in this one, at least from a starting pitcher perspective. Wallner, Larnach, and then Kyle Manzardo. Game in New York, 14-mile-an-hour wind in and high pressure. It's a common theme today. I didn't like much. I do think the Yankees look better in terms of batters. Yankees, sorry, I was looking just one below that. Mets, my apologies, look better in terms of bats, but it's not a spot that I can even force a lean. Game in Miami doesn't look good for Marlins bats. Agustin Ramirez is the only guy against Carlos Rodon that I would pick. For the Yankees, we'll go back to Bellinger. I know he has been common on these sheets, but he's been hitting well. I want to say 5 or so home runs in the last 2 weeks. So when a guy is seeing the ball and in rhythm, we're going to take him. And at that price, even though Miami isn't the most hitter friendly, it's neutral at worst. I like that. And Ben Rice hit one yesterday, 4-1. Here we go. Game in Tampa Bay. We finally have something. Overall, I would say it's green. I'm apologizing for not clicking that purple dot and changing it to green, but I'm telling you right now, I do think you could get some home runs here. Ohtani, Conforto, Diaz, and Brandon Lau. Lau is going up against the lefty and Clayton Kershaw, so make sure he starts if you choose to bet him on FanDuel. He may come in and pinch hit. If he does not, I don't want you to get burnt there. Diaz is my preference, though, for Tampa Bay. And I do like Ohtani at plus 200 in this park. That's a pretty darn good price for Ohtani at one of the easier parks to hit home runs. I do think anybody really is in play for the Dodgers, though. I think this could be a 3 to 4 home run game for the Dodgers. So, if you don't like Conforto or Ohtani, you're welcome to look around. You're going to probably find somebody that can hit one. Quick side note here. If you want to join the Patreon and support me, don't skip ahead, guys. There's something in. I'm not just doing this to advertise. I'm doing this because I think it can add value into your life. $10 a month. You join through the Patreon and you get access to the Discord. In the Discord, we hang out. We talk about picks. We talk about baseball. We talk about life. And in whoever is in the Discord for $10 a month is going to be invited into Fantasy Football League or leagues. If we have 30 guys, we can't have a league. Right now, I think we have about 12 in there. I'd love to have 2 leagues. We'll do $100 in prizes per league. We'll do a weekly pick 'em for prizes. We're like, yes, you guys are paying me money, but I don't want it to just be something that I'm like, nom, 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 nom. I may be sitting on my, money bags. Look at all these peasants down here giving me all these dollars, right? I want to give it back. I want to recycle it back to you and make it fun, make it worth it. So we'll do a pick'em contest for money. We'll do fantasy football for prizes, right? $10 a month. I mean, you might spend that at Starbucks today. Skip the Starbucks. Skip the Starbucks one day a month, and that kind of pays for your access to this. So here's what I'll do. If we get 4 new people in today at the front office, we'll do a giveaway in there today. I'll give away something in there today. 4 new people today. We'll do a giveaway. So why not? We'll do $25 giveaway in there today. Yeah, that's what we'll do today. 4 new signups. All right. Sweeten the pot a little bit there. Last 5 games of the night really aren't bad. Kind of that middle tier is where we get some poor games. But this game in Colorado also looks good, certainly in weather and park. And I actually like Colorado in this one on the money line, and they're the underdog. So my underdog picks haven't been horrible. Tail if you'd like. O'Neal Cruz, Andrew McCutchen, Ezekiel Tovar, and Hunter Goodman are my leans. However, a guy by the name of Warming Bernabel. I'll say that again. Warming Bernabel looks good. Britton Doyle as well. So a lot of guys, I think, for Colorado could hit the ball far today. And I like Colorado on the money line. Game in LA also looks good. Pitching looks bad, so that's excellent for batters. Luis Robert, Lennon Sosa, Mike Trout, and Taylor Ward are all my leans. But overall, it's green. Overall, both teams are green, so I think you can kind of pick and choose there, similar to what I said for the Dodgers. Game in San Diego isn't horrible. I won't pick anybody from it. Donovan, Burleson, Tatis, and Machado are all of my leans. Game in Oakland also looks good. I guess it's in Sacramento, but it is the Oakland team. Kurtz and Soderstrom, maybe a little bit chalky, but I think they match up the best against Descafani today. Marte and Perdomo on the other side. Arizona just kind of shook things up this trade deadline. They just moved on from Naylor and Suarez and maybe some pitchers as well. So we'll kind of have to feel them out as we get towards the end of the season here. And then the last game of the night is in Seattle. It's not a great one, especially not for the Texas Bats against Logan Gilbert. Seager's my only lean. And speaking of Josh Naylor, I like him tonight, as well as Cal Raleigh. So here's our Patreon guest pick. I just tried to sell you on the Patreon joining, and then we get kind of this little half tongue-in-cheek, in jest joke here. But we have fun, guys. All right, we're not going to take it too seriously all the time. Last time Anwar mentioned this as his guest pick, I forgot to include it in Toronto 1, and so I feel bad. So here we are again. Anwar's pick is Toronto moneyline -154 on FanDuel. Here's the analysis. I'll be at the game. The Blue Jays have won 12 in a row with me in attendance, so the most likely scenario is they physically can't lose with me there, right? This is what origination is, right? This is a joke, guys. Like, I want to be clear. A lot of people in this, I've learned that the sports betting world lacks a certain level of sophistication in their sense of humor. Like, satire and sarcasm in the sports betting world is like missed. I notice it on Twitter. I notice it everywhere. People take it like everything so seriously. I don't know if it's like the math-minded people are just like, oh, I'm not going to take Toronto because those guys are going to be there. That has no impact on it. We know, guys. We understand that. Are you serious? You think this is a serious thing? But we'll see if Anwar can keep a streak. It is unlucky 13, is it not? I'm a little nervous about that. I mean, 13 would be a nice number to break the streak on. So we'll see if Toronto can get it done. I mean, hey, put $15 on it. If it wins, you can join the Patreon for a month. Huh? Just an idea. Fairweather Friday is today. Here are my official picks. I think these 5 spots are the best. Game in Tampa, game in Philly, game in Oakland, game in LA, and game in Colorado. I'm going with Ohtani, Schwarber, Soderstrom, Robert, and Tovar. Right now, Camby has the best odds. FanDuel has the second best. The problem is there are no lines out for this late game in Oakland. So I have to wait to lock it in, and so I don't see a screenshot of an official play. I'm going to play the round robin as I normally do, and we're going to hope for the best. Okay, longer video today. I apologize. Got to update this room a little bit, and we'll talk to you guys first thing tomorrow.